Hello, and welcome to another episode of Becoming Enchanted with the Rustic Spirit. I'm your host, Stacy Lee.
I'm Gary
And
Lee.
this is Gary Lee. And we already have some comments in here. We have Susan. Hi, Susan. And I know Susan's excited about our guest tonight. We all had dinner with him during Pair Unity last year. And we had a blast. It was so much fun. And then we have Christina. Hi, love. I did get your message, and I'm going to respond to you. But I was getting ready for the podcast, so I could not yet. So thank you. It's a new color. I work in schools during the school year. So in the summer, I get to have fun with my hair a little bit. So it doesn't have to be gray, blonde during the summer. So I get to have a lot of fun. So thank you. And so before we get started and bring our guest on, let's pay the bills and do our little thing. So we are Becoming Enchanted with the Rustic Spirit. We are live on Thursdays normally at 8:30, but I messed up and I triple booked June 19th for some reason. And I have no idea why. And the only person I wrote in my calendar was Chuck, who is going to be on tomorrow night. So we're having 2 podcasts this week because luckily Mike was so, I guess, grateful and are able to... or accommodating, should I say, and be able to come on tonight with us. So usually we're live on Thursdays on Facebook and YouTube, but you can catch us anywhere you have podcasts, Spotify, iHeart, Apple, Amazon Music. You can go to any of those, and there is getting ready to do your promo right now, Maine Paranormal Horror Con. Hello. Oh, hold on. Don't want to remove it. I'm hitting wrong buttons. But before we talk about our sponsors, let's talk about us a little bit. So we have our new intention candles. Right now, we have 9 of them. We have Sleep, Self, Protection, Money and Abundance, Sea Magic, Earth, Sacred Warrior, Moonchild, and Serenity. These are all candles that are made during the new moon. They are have soy and herbs and essential oils or clean scents, and they each have an intention on it. So when you burn the candle, you light that candle with the intention, and then there is a little affirmation to say so you can build up. We also now have our cryptid line. So we have Believe, we have our Bigfoot candle, we have Encounter, which is our alien candle, and we have Mothman, which I am almost sold out of Mothman, by the way. I might have to make more. You put Mothman on anything, it sells, it seems like. So, oh, excuse me. So we are the Spirit Flames by the Rustic Spirit. The Rustic Spirit has many different outreaches or outbranches. We have the candles, we have our metaphysical shop, we have the podcast, and lots of other things coming up soon. So let's talk about the Maine Paranormal and Horror Con, who is in here right now. And they are going to be bringing Annabelle in. Tickets are now on sale. You go to mainparahorror.com. They're starting at $25. They have vendors, celebrities, VIP, and they have galleries. It's at the Augusta Civic Center in Augusta, Maine. And these are your tickets. So you have your general admission, which is $25. And then you have your general admission for the whole weekend, which is $40. And then your VIP ticket is $60. And then your VIP weekend pass with a dinner party. This is the one you want, guys. You get 1 hour early entry. You get your own little lanyard and badge. And you get VIP seating for all the lectures. You get a swag bag. And then you get to come to the party on Saturday night, 18 and older. From 7 p.m. to midnight. And this is the menu. It looks like baked stuffed chicken, beef burgundy, pasta primavera. So things for everyone. And then you have your side dishes, rolls, butter, and then specially event themed cupcakes display. That I can't wait to see. So it's going to be very exciting. I'm excited to be part of this event, and I cannot wait for it coming up soon. And our next sponsor, and this is for this weekend coming up, Creep It Real Festival. It is hosted by Unique Paranormal 1.5, The Doss House, and Old Stone Jail by Lurking Spirits. They are doing it at the Old Stone Jail. They just outgrew and had some issues with the town where the Doss House is, so they took it to the Old Stone Jail. It is going to be an amazing event. These are some of your celebrities. You have Santiago Cirillo, Patty Negri, the Blue Bodie, and Heather Mazzarato. She was actually on Princess Diaries, but she's also in Scream and Hostel and lots of different, and I think she's on Wednesday as well. Lots of different shows she's been on. People are very excited about her. It is going to be fun. It is going to be a good time. So come out. It's in Evansburg at the Old Stone Jail on Saturday. But Friday night, they have some, I guess, some extra investigations. So you need to come out for that too. And then our last sponsor is Snarly Yow, Historically Cryptid West Virginia, snarlyyow.com. He does a lot of different events. He has an event coming up in August 23rd. There's Rats and Reapers at Thick and Thin Brewery. It is an amazing event. And our guest tomorrow night did the movie about Snarly Yow. So that is exciting. And I can't wait to have him on as well. So go check out snarlyyow.com. Check out all of his events that he has coming up. Like I said, the next one, I believe the next one, there might be one in between there, but I believe the next one is August 23rd. So, deep breath.
Deep breath.
That's a lot of talking all at once. So today, because like I said, I messed up and I had triple booked this date. And so Mike from the Big Red Eye is able... I'm laughing at myself right now because I can't believe I did that. From the Big Red Eye was able to come on tonight. So we are going to have 2 podcasts this week. He is the, I guess, creator, owner, lead producer, and lead investigator of in the Big Red Eye. I think I might be saying that wrong. And so I'm so excited to have him on. We've met him. We've had dinner with him. He's just an all-around fun, caring, happy person. So without further ado, Mike, I'm going to add you to the stage. And you notice I didn't say your name because I'm like, am I going to say it wrong?
I know. I was like, is she going to try it? Is she going to attempt it? And you didn't.
I'm going to attempt it. I was like, I'm just going to bring him on. Is it Familant or no?
Familant.
Familant. There we go. Yeah. I was like, no, not trying it.
I'll give you credit. I'll give you props for giving it a try, though.
I was like, you never asked that. I had you on earlier. We were doing some sound checks, trying to figure things out, and I didn't ask how to say your last name.
Well, thank you so much for having me on.
Thank you. I appreciate you being accommodating.
It's been a long time in the making.
It has. I know we talked and we had dates and then we couldn't and then we did this. It was like we've been talking since November, I think, right?
Yeah.
Since when we met in November.
That's when we met in November. Yeah, it's been a while.
So yeah, Susan says she can't wait for the weekend at Creep It Real. You were not going to be this weekend at Creep It Real, right?
No, I won't be there. No.
Is it this weekend that's the West Virginia Bigfoot, or it's the following weekend?
The following weekend, the 27th, 28th, 29th is West Virginia.
Okay. And Creep It Real is more of a paranormal event. And I know you do more of the cryptid type things.
Yeah. So. Yeah. I have a...
Ronald Murphy's here. He says, I love you guys.
Nice.
So you just told me when we were getting on that you are now speaking at the West Virginia.
Yeah. Yeah, which is awesome.
Conference?
Yep, the festival, I think it is, the West Virginia Bigfoot Festival, which they're self-proclaiming could be the North America's largest cryptid festival, which is
really
cool. Yeah. So that's cool. I don't know how many people they're expecting, but if it was anything like last year, it's going to be crazy busy. It's going to be a lot of people, and hopefully it's not as hot as it was last year, because last year was a little rough, if I remember correctly.
I don't know. It's pretty hot today, and I know you're in New Jersey, correct?
Jersey, and it's not hot. It's just humid. It's like 80 degrees, but it feels like you're wearing like a sweatsuit.
I know. Like you walk outside and you like cut the air. It's that thick.
Yeah,
it's horrible.
Yeah.
It's horrible. I hate the humidity. Christina said she's from my area. It's hot. It is hot. It sucks. It's hot. I hate summer. I really am not a summer type of person. So
I'd rather be hot than cold, though. That's
no. I'd rather be cold than hot.
No. You're crazy. You're crazy.
I am crazy. I own that. I own that proudly. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Give yourself your little intro and how you got to where you're at right now and forming this in the shadow of the Big Red Eye.
Yeah, all right. So it all started back when I used to be a firefighter and EMT, and I was doing that in Florida, and I was watching Finding Bigfoot on on TV one evening, and they were like, "Hey, if you want to come out with us, you can come out with us. All you got to do is pay this ridiculous amount of money, and you know, sign your life away, and you can go out look for Bigfoot." And I was like, "Oh, that's totally gonna happen." So signed up that night. Make a long story short, we ended up nothing happened the trip. We went on this trip. It was me and my buddy until the last evening. We had a tree knock from one side. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning. Everybody else was asleep. We had heard a tree knock from one side of camp, and then about a minute later, a tree knock from the other side of camp. And I immediately thought, I was like, oh, it's these people that put on the expedition that are trying to hoax
Mhm.
us. You know what I mean? So I didn't think twice about it until about oh 15 minutes later, 10 minutes later, you hear come crashing down through the forest like plunk, a fist-sized rock, just like this. And it was
Oh
at
my
this point
goodness.
in my life where I said, nope, this is how horror movies start. I am getting out of here, you know. And my buddy Jimmy, who was with me, he was like, well, if you want to sleep in the car, you could sleep in the. And by the time he had said that, I had my sleeping bag and I was just, beelining it right to the car. But,
Hmm.
anyways, he comes up to the car and he's like, Mike, this is, we're at this Bigfoot research expedition. Like this is like Bigfoot's knock on trees and they throw rocks. This could be like squatchy activity that we're having here, you know? So I was like, yeah, I suppose you're right. So I went back out by the campfire, and over the course of the next 15 minutes, four more of these fist-sized rocks come crashing down,
Oh.
land 5 to 10 feet away from us, right? So my buddy comes up, Jimmy comes up to me, he's like, Mike, I got an idea. I'm gonna throw a rock back at it. And I said, Jimmy, man, I don't think that's a solid idea. You know what I mean? That's probably not the best idea I've ever heard. So he takes a rock and he chucks it back in that direction. And about 2 seconds later, a 15-pound laptop sized boulder comes crashing down and lands 5 feet away from us.
Oh my
So
goodness.
that was it. That was our first experience.
And you
That's
were
what
sold and
yeah,
hooked at that
that was
point.
it. That's what got me into it. 15 minutes changed
Mhm.
my life forever.
Now, did you believe at that time that it was the big hairy man, it was the Bigfoot, or it was a cryptid? Or did you 100% believe that that's what was happening?
We didn't know. I mean, we were two very proficient EMTs that have been doing it for a long time. We're trained on observation and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And what we came out of that is like, okay, there's something capable of throwing a substantially sized rock far, because we did some measurements the next day because we wanted to be all scientific about it. So
Hmm.
we did some measurements, and the closest the thing could have been was 75 yards away. So unless
Oh,
that's totally outside of human range.
yeah.
Hmm.
Ooh. So yeah, I don't know. That was we left that expedition. We went into the expedition. We weren't thinking twice about Bigfoot really. We were just gonna go there because it was gonna be like a fun weekend people watching. Because I'm sure
Yeah.
that would have been a thing to do there, which it was definitely a thing to do.
Well, you
Um,
had the celebrities, and yeah.
yeah, yeah. Well, they didn't show up, so
Oh,
it was just like the local investigators, which is cool. Still fun.
yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
yeah, it was kind of a letdown too. I didn't realize that at the time, but yeah, it was just really cool. And you know, on paper, I should be sitting on this street corner of Tampa in an ambulance somewhere, but I'm sitting here talking to you guys, which is awesome.
Yeah. So this was in Florida
Yeah.
because
hmm
are you from Florida and then you ended up in Jersey?
No, I moved to Florida for my ex fiance.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know you have like ties in Florida. That's why I was
Yeah. I was down
wondering.
there
Yeah.
for a while, and I go down there every year. My grandmother lives down there, and I got some good friends from when I worked down there. So
There's a
go
lot
down
of
there every year.
sightings in Florida of
Oh yeah, yeah. You got
Bigfoot and other
Mm-hmm.
cryptids. Yeah.
yeah. Florida's great when it comes to Bigfoot.
It's a
It's one of
hot
my
spot.
favorite places to investigate. Yeah, the Ocala National Forest is a huge hotspot.
Hmm.
It's amazing.
I
It's so
I grew
huge.
up down there. I grew
Ugh.
up in Clearwater, outside of
Oh,
Tampa.
nice. Yeah.
So I had family in Ocala, and I can just tell you, like, if you go to Ocala and you go to the national forest and the creepy swamps, it's creepy. It's
Oh
just
yeah.
creepy there. Like,
Hmm.
you go in there, it's creepy. It's definitely a place that I could imagine. I was young when I was there, so I don't recall ever seeing anything.
Mm.
But
Well, then the night you had that happen, was there other campers there?
Yeah, there was like
Anybody
60
else
other
get
people
anything?
there. No, we were the only
No.
people that had activity. But I think it was the case that because we kind of camped far away from everybody
Yeah.
because
Oh
we
yeah.
thought everybody was going to be weird.
Yeah.
well, people can be weird.
Yeah. Well, it's our first time on a Bigfoot expedition. We didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
No, I probably would have did the same thing. I'd have been like, let's go down here.
Yeah.
So that's when you got the bug. That's when you're like, okay, there's something out there. I need to go find it.
Yeah. Yep.
How did that lead to In the Shadow of the Big Red Eye?
So,
Walk us through
okay.
that chain of events.
Yeah. So I got really, after this event, I got really
Did
into
Gary shave his head? No, kind of. Sorry,
Bigfoot.
I don't. Ashley asked if Gary shaved his head. No, we just cut it really short.
It's just short. So after this event, I got really into Bigfoot, and this was back in 2011. 2016 rolls around. I'll let you in on a secret. You can get homesick for New Jersey, and I got homesick. I know. I got homesick. Moved back to New Jersey, and at the same time, I must have been kind of bored because I decided that I was going to make a TV show. Because I was watching all the shows on TV, like Finding Bigfoot was big at the time. There were some other shows on, and I was really like taken back and like turned off by the way that they portrayed how Bigfooting was done. And it's not the way that they show it on those TV programs. That's not how it's done. It's, they're done. The TV programs are made for ratings and for money and stuff like that. And I get that, it's cool.
Yeah.
But I wanted to make a show that was not designed for ratings or for anything like that or for making money or whatever. So I made it, and it's called In the Shadow of Big Red Eye. And the story behind that is in 1972, a state park ranger in New Jersey High Point State Park went on record and said that during his night patrol, he saw 2 pairs of reflecting red eyes in the forest. He wrote it down in his report, and somehow, I don't know how this happens, but the newspaper got a hold of that report, and they read it, and I don't know, the front page the next morning of the newspaper, Sussex County's Bigfoot, Big Red Eye, was born. So that's our little claim to fame for Bigfoot up in northwest New Jersey. Yeah.
All right. Is that near Pine Barrens? Was that in Pine Barrens?
Opposite side of the state. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know Jersey.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. No. Pine Barrens are down South Jersey. I'm in the armpit of Pennsylvania and New York.
Okay. All right. That makes sense. So, but I know there's a lot of activity in Pine Barrens and, the Jersey Devil and stuff like that. Like that's
Pine Barrens
big spot.
Talk about creepy places. The Pine Barrens are, it's a very creepy place. 1.1 million acres of nothing.
Wow. Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you have Jersey, this really populated state, but then you have this.
It's funny because
acres of nothing.
I think the last time and don't quote me on this, but I think the last time I checked, the population density in the state was 300 something per square mile, the average population density, and then in the Pine Barrens, the average population density is 1.3 people per square mile.
Oh wow!
So there's nobody down there.
Nobody there. That's intense. That's really intense. So Obviously, where can your show is on YouTube? I know that. Are you on any of the networks yet?
Not yet. Nope, just YouTube. YouTube seems to be the bread and butter. Everybody likes that. I'm almost to 5K subscribers. So if any of y'all that are listening right now have not subscribed to my channel, please make the 5K happen before I go away, so that way I could celebrate correctly.
Yeah, let's like let's look. Where are you at? How close are you to in the? You know what? I have a couple YouTubes, so I wonder if all of mine follow you.
4982.
Okay, so you said 4982.
Yeah.
So we need 18. We need 18. So if anybody in the comments, please go follow.
Make this like one of those shows, like the donation shows, like, and have people not donate, but just subscribe, and every subscriber we sing a song and stuff like that.
Yes, sorry, I don't know what is happening here. My YouTube is acting funny, but like all these videos came up, but it won't let me get to your
hit the X.
Hit the X. You know, I'm trying to get to their actual main page.
I got it.
Yeah, push that. Go back and then push that logo.
I did that. Oh, subscribe. Okay. No, that's Sussex County Bigfoot. Is that you? Like it says, or is it somebody else?
No, that's me.
All right. Yes. So 4.98 subscribers. So yes, please, everybody post the link. Okay. That's what I'm trying to do right now.
Yeah, I can't post it. I tried to post it, but I can't do it because I'm not.
All right. So share. Copy link. Okay, guys, here it comes. Everybody, we need to follow this. I hope I got the right one. There we go. It should be in the comments. Coming. There we go, right there. Go over there and follow him. Let's get him to $5,000 before, or 5,000. Yeah, $5,000. $5,000 before the day is over.
Baby.
Before our show is over. Let's do it. So
that's the right link too. You're good.
Okay. I have watched a lot of your episodes. I've done a lot. I have. Even before I met you, because the first time I met you was at Paraunity, but we didn't really connect. I just came and seen you. This was the year before.
Yeah.
Came and looked at all the stuff. Was so just fascinated. And then, actually, are you watching on my other page then? Okay. Let me see if I can copy. I don't think I can copy paste from here. And then the second time we ended up, we connected, and I think it was Ashley and Jeff, because you knew Ashley and Jeff. And so we ended up, kind of hanging out. We went out to dinner and stuff like that. So I was very excited because I had been watching you. We go through YouTube all the time. We look for, there's always a Bigfoot or an alien show on my TV. So you had been one that we had watched a few times awesome. And kind of were following at that point. But apparently not all my pages were following you. So Bill Rigby is here. He said I already joined a few years ago.
Thanks, Bill.
So that
I need to get in touch with you too, Bill, about something. So we'll do that.
Ashley said
and then Christina says being stupid for me. If you go to YouTube and you search in the shadow of the big red eye right here below his name, you are going to follow. You're going to find it. It's going to come up. And there's also a website that's in the link or in the show notes. I'm sure you can get there from the website as well. So yeah, Bill says definitely get a hold of you. And then Mike is the shit, so follow him. So yeah, Ashley, she has talked nothing but great things about you. And I knew you're going to be at their event that I just advertised, correct?
I can't wait.
Or no?
Yes.
Or you are? Okay.
I know. I can't wait. And I'm going to be up in Maine in July too, so I want to talk to you guys about that.
Yeah, because they told you that we're trying to get there too.
Oh no, I didn't know that.
Yes, Ashley just asked me the other day, do you guys still plan on coming on July 4th? And I'm like, I got to talk to the man here because he just got a new job.
I got a new job.
So
congratulations.
I'm off all summer, but we were trying to kind of overlap when you were going to be there because you were going. Oh. When are you going?
The 3rd through the
9th, right? Or 3rd through the 7th or something like that.
13th.
Oh yeah, you're gonna be there. Yeah, a long time. So we're hoping to come up for a long weekend.
Okay, wonderful. That'd be awesome.
Not really sure if we can, but we're talking about it. I'm ready. I jump in the car and
go. Well, let's coordinate it, and we'll make it happen if it's possible.
All right, Christina, you did get it. Okay. All right, you did get the link. Yeah. So she said the 3rd through the 13th. Hi, Jill. Jill was another one at the dinner with us.
Yes, Jill was there.
Yes. And then Bill's like, should I follow? Bill, you want to come to Maine?
Come on, Bill. Let's go.
Let's go have fun. So besides that initial encounter, do you have the most like intense, scariest, or that really kind of freaked the crap out of you story about Bigfoot besides that one? Or is that the one that was the most scary?
No, that one was probably the most intense. Let's see. The next encounter, hold on one second. Get my props. The next encounter, the one after that, after the first, when we got the rocks thrown at us, Jimmy and I made it our personal goal to figure out what is capable of throwing those rocks at us. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So we made it we started talking to all the researchers, witnesses, looking at all the hot spots, and in about a 3-week time frame, we decided that we are now professionals. So we went to this place called Colt Creek State Park. It's in Central Florida, and we get there for one night, and Jimmy didn't want to go on a night hike, but I wanted to go because I wanted to find Bigfoot. So I was like, Jimmy, come on, let's go. He's like, fine, I'll finally come. So we start hiking. Jimmy is not scared at all because he's got his 6-foot tall machete and his 10 million lumen spotlight, that he's got shining around. And I'm doing like I see him do on TV. I'm doing Bigfoot calls every 2 seconds. So anything with a brain would know that there's 2 idiots running around the woods making these sounds, right?
Yeah.
And anything with a brain would have got out of the area. So anyways, we're about 1.5 miles from camp. Jimmy's shining his spotlight around, and all of a sudden, his spotlight comes across 2 pairs of reflecting eyes. One pair was fire engine red, just like this. The second pair, aqua blue. It's very intriguing. So anyways, Jimmy and I, in our infinite wisdom of everything in the woods, we thought it was people. We didn't realize, as people, we don't have eye shine. We can't see at night like our pets can. So we start.
Our eyes, people's eyes don't shine at night, right?
No, not at all.
Okay.
So, but we didn't know that because we were so new at this. We thought we knew everything, but we didn't. So we start yelling out to the thing, "Hey, we're just looking for Bigfoot." And there was no reply, just those eyes staring back at us, right? So we think now that they're poachers, like illegally poaching animals. So I'm like, oh man, this is a good way to get ourselves shot right now, So we're like, okay. I start yelling again, hey, we're just going to go back to camp. Like, sorry to bother you guys, And then the red set of eyes turns, looks at the blue set of eyes, turns and looks back at us, then blinks. And that was a nope moment in my life. We were out of there. That's when you
realized they were not humans.
Not humans. Yep. Jimmy put a notch in the tree with his machete. So when we went back the next day, we did a recreation. We saw that the eyes were like 7 and 7.5 feet tall and about 2 feet apart from each other. So that was our second little experience with Bigfoot. So that was pretty
Christina
intriguing.
said, I bet you would have shit if it answered.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And I
true. It
love
would have been
how
like, hey,
humble. I love how humble you are with that. You're like you like, yep, we thought we were experts. We thought we knew everything, and we went out and like we did it wrong, you know. But that's how you do things. That's how you learn. Like now, you have a lot more experience. This was what in 2016 around that
yeah,
area.
this was 2011, so a
2011.
long time
Okay, yeah.
ago.
So yeah, like you've learned a lot since then. You know, you like I can tell by watching the videos that I've watched. You've learned a lot since then. But I like the humbleness of it. Like, okay, this is their very beginning, and this is what happened. And
Yeah,
so thank you for being so humble. A lot of people are not in any
yeah,
of the field of making videos or shows or anything like that.
right.
So
Well, you
I
do know
appreciate that.
my job is a full-time public speaker, so I am okay at making stories.
Yes, I know. And I was looking at your schedule. You have a lot, like you do a lot of different things.
Yeah,
And you do a lot of library. You go to libraries and
libraries
you
are the
talk
MO.
about,
Yeah,
you talk about the Bigfoot or I guess your experiences. Like what kind of stuff do you talk about when you do your
it's
events?
basically the who, what, when, where, why of why I go Bigfooting and looking for Bigfoot.
Hmm.
It's very basic. It's not an in-depth presentation. It's superficial. It just kind of scratches the
Hmm.
surface and tries to. I don't try to convince or persuade anybody that Bigfoot's out there because that's not what I do. I just my only qualification is that people come with an open mind and they leave with an even opener mind, hopefully.
Yes,
So
because I know
that's
I've seen posts where you actually invite people. Hey, I'm going to be in this area. Come out, or
yeah,
like
yeah.
doing investigations and stuff like that too.
I have a pretty substantial fan base on social media, and what I try to
Hmm.
do is all if I'm in a certain area, in lieu of paying for a Bigfoot expedition, what I'll do is say, hey, do you mind giving me a hand at these presentations and maybe selling my merch for me?
Hmm.
And I'll take you along for a free Bigfoot expedition. And it works out very well.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And that's like what you said at the very beginning. Like you saw how the mainstream shows were doing it, and like this isn't really what it's about. And I want to do this where people can afford it and people, can get the real kind of experience
Yeah,
with
exactly.
the big hairy
And I
man.
don't want people to have to spend a lot of money like I did to
Mhm.
to go follow their passion. That's not
We
something
just were
that
talking
I'm
about that before we came on, weren't we? uh, so actually says one day we will catch a Bigfoot. I think it's already happened in my like I'm glad she said this because I do think we've already caught one somewhere, somehow. Maybe Stalin has caught a Bigfoot. What are your thoughts on that? Do you believe that somewhere someone actually has caught one or has evidence that is not being released? Or do you believe that Bigfoot, I guess this is the second part of this question, is Bigfoot biological? Is he interdimensional? What are your
Mhm.
thoughts? Because there's lots of different theories on
Yeah.
what
So
Bigfoot
s-
is.
so I think Bigfoot's biological. I think it's on this planet just like us, just like you and me, or a chicken or a duck or a turkey. Um, and I think that since Bigfoot is biological, there has to be somebody that has evidence of Bigfoot somewhere. Um, whether that means it's the government that has evidence of Bigfoot, whether that means it's like private person that has evidence of Bigfoot. Um, it's just what that means is I don't believe the correct channels have
Yes.
been contacted appropriately in the correct order to be able to classify this new species.
Yes. And Bill says the government has a body. I don't have proof of that, but I have a strong feeling that yes. I mean, there was, based on the research and some of the stuff that I've done, the historical research about Stalin, who had went hunt down the Yeti, I think it was. And I forget the story now. Do you remember that? You probably know it more because you are like more of
Yeah,
the
I don't.
where it was over in Germany. He had found, or Russia, Germany, one of them. Stalin, is he from Germany or Russia? It's Russia, right?
I think Russia.
Russia. That he sent these expeditions out to find it. Like he had saw it once and he's like, I'm going to get this thing. And there at one point had been a body, but no one knows kind of what happened to it. I'll have to go back and look and read about that again. So
yeah, it's interesting.
Said Russia.
And then that's the thing, you'd be worried if it happened that it would be tortured and it wouldn't be worth it. So that's another question that comes up in this. Sorry, I got too much going on at once. That's comes up in this field. If you found Bigfoot, what would you do? Are you shoot to kill, get the body for evidence?
Definitely not.
And there's some who are.
Mhm.
Or are you let's see how much pictures, video, stuff like that I can take. Let me be friends with them and smoke a joint with them.
Yeah, that would be cool. I think well, here's the catch-22 when it comes to Bigfoot field research. You want to, and I think a majority of Bigfoot field researchers that I know of want to do what's best for this creature. And that's preserve it and protect it. And what's the best way to do that? Is that going to be to classify the species and get that government protection, get the classification as being an endangered species and getting the protection that it deserves and whatever? Or is that going to be to just leave them alone because they've been doing their thing for quite some time and they've been pretty good at it? Now, and there is a catch-22 again, like I say, is as a Bigfoot field researcher, I spent 139 nights last year just tent camping looking for Bigfoot. So like, I don't know if I would probably have a higher than standard chance at getting evidence of Bigfoot if Bigfoot's out there. So
yeah.
If I were to get evidence of Bigfoot, people are saying I'm hoaxing it, or I'm doing whatever because I spend so much time.
Especially
and I haven't
now that we have AI and all this stuff.
Oh, and don't get me started on that.
Yeah.
That's another thing. That's crazy.
Yeah. And I get it. Like, so that when you said 139 nights last year tent camping, out of those 139 nights, and this is where people think like you go out in the woods and you're always going to have experiences, just like paranormal. Like you think every time you go to a house, it's haunted and you're always going to have experiences. Right. Out of those 139 nights, how many nights would you say, or what percentage of nights did you have pretty good evidence or things that you have found that kind of leads towards
not even good evidence? Like, I would even say like a tree knock would count, and that would be about 10% of the time.
Yeah. Yeah, so I would say, and it's so funny how when you were starting, it's almost like they know. I think they know. It's like when you were starting, you had more evidence then than you do now that you're out there trying to look for them.
Yeah, it seems that way.
I know. It's Murphy's Law, I guess, though.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen any footprints?
Yeah. I've gotten. What's that?
Remember? I was telling him you got castings.
Yeah.
Don't you?
Yeah. I've gotten footprint castings from New Jersey, up in northwestern New Jersey, up in Sparta, which is my backyard up here, and then I've gotten a baby juvenile Bigfoot footprint cast down in the Pine Barrens, down like we were talking about in South Jersey, where the Jersey Devil is. It's interesting. I got a mountain lion footprint from Maryland, which they say they don't exist there. So that's kind of like, interesting. But yeah, we found a bunch of footprint casts. We found a really great footprint from up in High Point State Park in New Jersey. It was great. Found like 6 of them over 70 yards.
Yeah. Now, some people think there could be a correlation between Bigfoot and aliens. Do you believe that?
No. I don't know. I don't know.
Your earpiece.
What I will say is, I got a really good Bigfoot vocalization, and then about 15 minutes prior to that, it was me and my team of 5 other people. We saw a UFO just zigzagging through the sky. A red light just you doing a zigzag up and down through the sky. So I don't know what that was. To me, I couldn't correlate it as close to Bigfoot as I would like to. But other people are saying, absolutely that has to be related, aliens and Bigfoot related.
Yeah.
There's a lot of research out there. I know. I don't. Sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you, but I'm with you. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what I believe when it comes to that. Apparently, Jerry Swope has Bigfoot locked in his box trailer, but
hey, I don't need to look for him anymore.
Yeah, no, you don't need to look for him. I go back and forth with him being a biological creature and then him also being an alien type or a interdimensional type creature. So I have the back and forth thing, but there's a lot of research out there of people who have Bigfoot sightings, but also alien sightings. There's a lot of correlation. So
yeah. Hey, Christina just asked what the vocalizations sound like. I can play them. You want me to play them?
Yeah, that'd be great if you can.
All right, let me try to play. Okay, when I say I can play them, let me try to play them. So what you're going to listen for is a series of 3 Bigfoot howls, and on the 3rd howl, I actually say, "That's not a coyote," and I shouldn't have said that, but I'll play it for you now, maybe. Let's see.
Okay, I added
That's not a coyote. So
wow.
Yeah, there's that.
Yeah, so I just want to tell Gary, like I've said the same thing. We stay in this place in the mountains, Bald Eagle State Park in Pennsylvania.
Nice.
There's a lot of sightings around there.
Yes.
And I hear that sound. And he's like, it's coyotes. I'm like, no, it's not. That's not a coyote.
Mm-hmm.
So I say the same thing all the time. Yeah, that's exactly what I hear.
Yeah. So right? I sent that off to a linguist from the military who's happens to do Bigfoot research on the side. He's my sound guy, and he came back he said because of this this X, Y, and Z, it's outside of human vocal range, and it's no known animal from northwestern New Jersey. So that's pretty cool. Wow. That's coming from a scientist in the military.
Yeah. See, that's exactly what we hear. It almost sounds like a mix between a coyote and a elk. To me, that's what it sounds like to me. It's like a mixture of the two.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you think of what a Bigfoot would sound like, that's probably what a Bigfoot would sound like.
Well, it can't be Bigfoot there because
that's AI.
Yeah.
He doesn't come get burgers from a cooked on the grill.
How many people have Bigfoot come to their backyard when they're cooking burgers, though? That's not what he does.
Henderson's had
it. Someone else said Harry and the Hendersons. Ashley, I think she said she'd want to go live like Harry and the Hendersons. We were actually over the weekend. We did a Bigfoot and Brews up in Sunbury with Gwen, and to promote her event that she does, the Central PA Bigfoot. And we got back that night and it was fun. We were at the brewery and Mike's in a Bigfoot costume and walking around and taking pictures, and got arrested by police and all that kind of stuff. It was just kind of like a promo event that she was doing. And then we get back to the house, and literally we're like sitting out there, and I think they were doing some stuff, and the dog was going out, and you heard this like these big, huge footsteps in the back there. And Gary's out there, and he's like straight to the woods. He's like, no fear. He wants to make friends with the Bigfoot. He wants to sit down and drink a beer and do some other things and, talk to him. He's out there like practically begging. He's like, all right, hairy man, I just want to see you. Like, it was almost desperate. Like, he was almost had this like desperate, like, please, like this little boy that wants this Bigfoot to come out and talk to him. Look at his smile. Do you feel that way too? Do you feel like, oh my God, if you could just come, I'll be your friend. Just come see me.
Yeah, I get that way sometimes. I mean, most of the time I'm very like analytical in the field when it comes to, okay, let's rule this out first and let's do this. But I do get sometimes like here, Bigfoot, like let's come on, let's come out and play type of thing. So yeah, I get that way sometimes. But I try not to, because I like to be all scientific and stuff like that.
You are. Jerry says that was me leaning up a tree to go to the bathroom. But you are very scientific. Like you do a lot of like debunking, figuring out like, is this really what I'm hearing, stuff like that. So Gary does too. He actually debunks more than I do, because I'm like, yep, that's it, I hear things, and he's always saying, no, that's not it. But this night was the first time I seen him like, come on, come out.
Nice.
So do you have any other, I mean, I think someone else had a question, but do you have any other clips you want to show of something that you guys went kind of my brain, that's my words, the words just went out right now. Do you have any other clips you want to show us?
Yeah, I do. And this is the first time I'm ever gonna premiere this on.
This was the other question.
We'll answer this one first. How many nesting spots have I experienced? I've came across one, and it was like a, how deer bed down and they leave that kind of flattened grass. Yeah. I found like a circle in that area, like the same thing, except it was like 30 feet big. Like 10 yards wide.
We saw that too. I think I showed you that picture last time we were together.
Yeah. I don't know what that was. So, but have I ever came across anything like crazy strict stick structures or stuff like that? Not really. No, nothing that a Bigfoot would live in. Okay. But anyways, this clip is there was a night that in my early days of Bigfoot field research, I always was petrified of getting attacked by a black bear, right? So in order to alleviate this fear, what I did is I purchased what I believe to be the Guinness Book of World Records largest can of bear mace that you could possibly buy. So I had this on my hip at all times. And whoops, hold on one second. Yeah. Okay.
I'll pause it.
And whoops. I'll do it. There you go. And so I was in the back of a two-door Jeep one evening, and we were going over this pothole-filled road, and there's a driver and a passenger up front. I'm in the back, and all of a sudden we hit this pothole. And the fire extinguisher in the back of the Jeep started going off. So I leaned up to the driver. His name was Mike, and I said, "Mike, why is your fire extinguisher going off?" And by the time I had said that, I had realized it was not the fire extinguisher, but the can of bear mace. The safety had failed. Fun fact, you cannot turn off a can of bear mace. I tried.
Once you ignite it.
Yeah. It hit me like I have never been hit before. Every orifice was just, I mean, I couldn't see. I was coughing. I couldn't talk. Probably couldn't hear at this point in my life. I mean, it was terrible.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, it wafted up and hit the front seat guys, the driver and the passenger up front. And we're driving down the road, so they almost flipped the Jeep trying to pull the thing to the side of the road, right? So they get the car pulled over, and they roll out of the car, and they're rolling around on the ground, and they're coughing and whatever. And then they shut the doors, and they lock me in the Jeep. So here I am trying to jump over the back of the seat, trying to get out. But anyways, yeah. Since we film a documentary style show, we are always filming.
Always filming. It's always there.
You want to see what happens?
I can't wait.
All right. Here it is. Y'all can laugh at this because I still hurt to this day.
So a can of bear mace just went off in the car. We just maced pretty much the half the team.
So it's our final day here, Delaware Water Gap. We last night was somewhat interesting. There was a gentleman on the side of the road that we kind of helped, bipolar, schizophrenic, and we got him some help, which was nice. Talked to him for a while, and then as we were going to our final night investigation location, the bear mace kind of went off. I can now open one eye, which is nice. But yeah, that was not a pleasant experience. I still can't open the other eye, so we're trying to figure out how to get home. I don't know where the off button is. So there you have it.
Yeah, your eye was like, you could see like all
Did you see my nose?
Like water.
My nose was like oh. So, but I will say, if you are unlucky enough to get sprayed with a can of bear mace, do not do what I did, and that's run home and jump in the shower. Why, you may ask? Yeah. It's because it all runs down. Yep.
Oh. So, I'm from a military family. I myself did not go in because I actually almost did, but that's a whole other long story. But I grew up on outside of bases and on bases and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know if all branches of the military do this, but you have to go into a building that has I guess mustard gas or some type of gas.
Oh, they put a bunch of these in there, and then
which is similar, I guess, to the bear mace. I don't know if it is. And that's what you're describing. Sounds exactly like what my cousin said that he went through when he's like vomiting, swollen. Everything was watering and running, but never did I hear about the not taking a shower and.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Days it took to stop burning.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's not as bad as my one time I took a bath in peppermint oil.
Ooh.
Yeah, I was like, because I do my witchy stuff and my relaxing stuff, and I took some peppermint oil. I'm like, I'm gonna put peppermint oil in the bath. Mm-hmm. It wasn't long before everything was cool.
Yeah.
that took days, but probably not burning. It was more.
Yeah. Oh my.
it's mace. You don't want this shit. So is it the same thing as mace? Like the same thing as you buy the little can of mace?
Yeah,
That's
it's
probably
like
not stronger.
times 10 though.
Okay.
It's like police spray, police mace times 10 is bear spray.
Yeah. I don't. Yes, Ashley, I did do that in the bath. I didn't. This was back when I first started working with essential oils and not realizing that, yeah, what peppermint can do to open areas of the body.
Ooh.
Now I lost my train of thought, but we were talking about the bear mace. Like I do like bear bells. I like to make noise while I'm out because that's usually going to keep the bears away. Have you ever had an experience with a bear?
No, I've seen them. So Sussex County, where I live, has the highest density of black bear population east of the Mississippi, and
Oh wow!
I can count on two hands the number of times I've seen bears when I'm hiking, and I'm out a lot. So
You do.
there's that doesn't mean that the bear's not out there, just like it doesn't mean that Bigfoot's not out there. It just means that I'm not around to see him.
And they know we're there, and they don't come around. They're actually not
they're
as
so
dangerous
smart.
as portrayed. Yeah.
No, they try to leave the area way before you get anywhere around there. The ones you have to be worried about are like the camp bears that are people, friendly, and
Or if you come across cubs,
or come across cubs.
The cubs. Yep.
Well, we stayed in the Poconos once, and like all the trash cans had to be locked, all this stuff. And then there was a guy down the street who all the bears would come to his house at a certain time every night to eat.
Yeah.
And he fed them. So yeah, that's those camp bears type of thing where they'll just come and get the food.
And they sat in his driveway.
They sat in his driveway waiting for him to come home.
Yeah, he got home late or something, and it was sitting in his driveway waiting because all the neighbors went by.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I would love to see a bear. I'd be scared, but like we do a lot of hiking, we're out a lot, and I'm like, I would love to run into a bear. Like while we're out, I've always want to. I've seen bobcats, I've seen coyotes, I've seen deer, lots of deer.
Yeah,
but never seen a bear. Never seen. Okay, Bill said bears are like Bigfoot. They don't like to be around people, and they don't. So there's a lot of different pictures, a lot of different sightings, and when it comes to Bigfoot, like, what do you think? Could Bigfoot? I know you have some evidence, you have some things. Could Bigfoot just be a big bear?
I think what is Bill saying? It's not a bear. Or it was just a bear. I forget. Bill's got a saying like that.
I have a shirt. Where's it at?
Yeah, where's the shirt?
Yeah. It's where it
says.
I have a thing on my car too. It says it's just a bear. Bill, what's the saying? It's just a bear.
Come on, Bill.
It's not a bear.
Anyways,
come on, Bill.
Yeah. I don't. I mean, you have these thousands of witnesses from all walks of life. It's just can't be just a bear. Yeah,
I agree that. I agree with that.
Yeah,
Bill said I had a 500 round bear on my deck in the Chestnut, the Bigfoot outpost at Chestnut. Yeah, Rigby's just a bear. It's just a bear, is what it says. It's just a bear. Yeah. That's another one. Have you been to Chestnut Ridge? That's a big sighting. Have you done some stuff there?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. You got to show that. I watched an episode, right? Where you were there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I know. What's his name? Bill. Over there, Bill Apple at the outpost.
Yeah. That's a pretty cool area, Chestnut Ridge.
Yeah, I'll be staying there for Kecksburg. Are you going to go to Kecksburg?
When is that?
That is July 18th, 19th, and 20th.
Possibly. Not as a vendor. We just might come out. Yes.
Yeah, you should. It's going to be a ton of fun.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's the one we saw. That's going to be really cool. So So what, like, obviously we're talking a lot about Bigfoot, but it seems like you do a lot of other cryptid, like, do you do other cryptid, should I say, do you do other cryptid investigating? Like,
Not really. I've done the Jersey Devil. We've done that a few times. Can't really put too much clout into that, unfortunately. I wish I could say, say that differently. But yeah, it's I'm just so stuck on the Bigfoot phenomenon. That's kind of where I'm sitting. If I find Bigfoot, or when I do get evidence of Bigfoot that I don't show anybody, maybe that's how you'll know that I got something. Is going to be like, well,
stop filming.
Mike, you'll be like, in the shadow of the Tasmanian tiger. That'll be the new one. You'll be like, oh, Mike found something. All right.
What would you do if you found something? Like, I know what we were saying earlier about how there's so much different AI. There's so much different like things. Like people are going to say, oh, you faked that. So you almost have to have a body, but I'm not one. I would never shoot or kill. It sounds like you wouldn't do anything with your evidence. You would just kind of keep it to yourself.
I'd show it to some of my close friends and be like, hey, you want to see something really cool? Maybe show it to my kids.
Yeah.
That type of thing. Give it to them to show to their kids. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if I would. And like, imagine if I came across a Bigfoot body. I know it's like never gonna happen, but what do you do when you get the hair? Do you send it? Do you got to get a bunch of it. You got to hide some of it. So you know what I mean? And
yeah, whatever you're sending away is like, because if they take it and they say this, like,
you're never gonna see that sample again.
No, you're not.
So
bring him to our house, and then we create a sanctuary for him.
Boom. Yes. All right.
Bigfoot sanctuary. That's what we're doing. We're creating a sanctuary for Bigfoot at Ashley's house in Maine. They live in, I think, Gray, Maine. I think that's the name of the town.
So if you find an injured Bigfoot, go to Ashley's house.
Yeah. They'll rehab it and then send it
She's
back.
She's going to rehab Bigfoots.
Try to get funding for that one.
Yeah, exactly. So you don't have an experience like this Mothman or anything like that. Like, what are your thoughts? Like, do you have any thoughts on other cryptids?
I think the Jersey Devil might have been a misidentification of a sandhill crane from back in the day.
Okay.
Because they do exist in New Jersey, and they're extremely rare. So I have a feeling that people were observing them back in the day, back before there was cell phones and internet and even phones and electricity, and they're seeing these things, and this word of mouth thing is saying, hey, we got these crazy birds flying over, and then you know how the game telephone works. All of a sudden you got the Jersey Devil.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's true. And I wonder, a lot of different cryptids is that like that. Like there's been
yeah. Like
especially with Mothman, they flew away with that, no pun intended. But there's been some documentaries saying that it was just an owl. It was just a very big owl. And
I wasn't Point Pleasant not too long ago looking for Mothman. So I can't say I have never been looking for the Mothman, but not like on an expedition.
Yeah, that's my second favorite. Bigfoot's my.
Well, when you're at Bigfoot, and just look up every once in a while.
Yeah.
Now I know Gary asked you the question about the aliens and the relation. What is your thoughts? Like, I guess that's considered a cryptid. What is your thought on alien life form?
UFOs have to exist. There's too much, again, just like with Bigfoot, there's too much proof that's out there that says that they don't exist. So gotta be out there. I've seen something before. I got a Bigfoot vocalization, that howl that we played for you. I did a barred owl call, but before I did that barred owl call, we saw a UFO go across the sky. So got to be something out there.
There has to be. And I just think there's so many, like, could there be a correlation? Correlation doesn't always equal causation. So you're not sure if what you're seeing is related to the Bigfoot, but there's definitely, This is a good question. What are your
Maybe
thoughts on the
they're
dire
following
wolf? And I
Bigfoot.
know there's been some possible evidence lately that
possible
they did
evidence, yeah.
exist. Are they still around?
Yeah, I don't know if they're still around or not. I mean, we would know about them. I mean, just like you have Bigfoot that has we think that has some intelligence behind it. A dire wolf doesn't really have that so-called higher level of intelligence, I don't believe.
More like dog intelligence. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
so I think as humans we'd probably be able to study them and research them. Although if there's a very small population somewhere, then that's very possible too. We just don't know. I'm not positive. I don't know.
Yeah. I think did I hear something that they are trying to recreate like DNA or like using the DNA to try to make them or bring them back?
That's what I heard
Is that
too.
what I read?
That's what I think I heard that in the news a couple months or weeks ago or something like that.
Yeah. That was recent, like within the last month.
Yeah.
It was in the news.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. Like
Yeah.
genetically modified animals.
Yeah, there's got to be a strict kind of thing about that.
Mm-hmm. So, any other clips you have for us? We're getting to our end here. So, is there anything else you want to talk about? Show us anything else you want to say?
No, I don't. I have the promo for the show if you guys, but it's I don't know if it's going to take too long to load.
Well, yeah, go ahead and try. Christina says they are all altering DNA, but it's not actual dire wolves. So, yeah. So let's play the promo for the show. And guys, everybody, did you? I don't know if YouTube doesn't update right away about how many followers you have. It's not like immediate, so I don't know if you're going to be able to know if you got to the 5 grand or not. So, but please share his stuff. Like go over there and tell your friends. Watch his shows. Watch his videos. It's really real stuff. Like it's not your Bigfoot on TV mainstream Bigfoot stuff. It is very
49.86.
86. Okay. That makes sense because it's about how many people we've had watching. So hopefully by the end of the night, we'll get you out there. Go share your friends. Go send a message to like, hey guys, go follow this show. But like if you guys you need to watch it. You need to just sit down and spend some time watching it. It's
new shows come out every Monday at 7:00. So that's even while I travel across the country. I do this full time. I do Bigfooting full time. It's my career. So
yeah,
it's pretty.
This is his full-time job, and the more like, and I'm assuming you monetize off of YouTube.
I'm making a little teeny bit of money on YouTube now. Yes, it's nice.
I'm making a little teeny bit on Facebook.
Nice.
I'm trying to build over on YouTube. Yes, it starts very little. I think you have to have a certain like 10,000 followers before they really start even paying attention to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's it took a long time to get there, but now it's it's there. We're getting there, so that's all that matters.
Yeah, I have 73 followers on my YouTube.
Hey, there you go.
So please go over to my YouTube, guys. I think all of you do follow me that are in here. Go over to my YouTube and follow me because I'd like to eventually take the show over there because, if you get enough monetization, like YouTube does pay better than Facebook, bottom line. And it does cost to run a podcast. Like this stuff costs to cameras and mics and soundboards and all of that stuff. And the streaming software is $40 a month. So it really helps. Like if I could monetize at least enough to pay for the podcast. So, yeah, this has been great. I'm glad you were able to come on.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Any final thoughts that you want to share with our audience?
Yeah.
Or pieces of advice if they want to go out and hunt the Bigfoot.
Well, if they want to go out and look for Bigfoot, you don't have to spend a ton of money like I did going on a Bigfoot research expedition. All you got to do is go to the YouTube channel and check out my docu-series called Squatchables. which is a 11-part series about what to bring camping and stuff like that if you've never been camping. But I like to leave everybody with a quote because I love quotes. Life with the possibility of Bigfoot or the Loch Ness Monster is far superior to one without. Thank you for having me on the podcast tonight. I really, really appreciate it, Stacy.
Yeah,
and Gary.
thank you for coming on, and thank you for being accommodating and adjusting your schedule and
hey,
everything.
that's what life's all about, right?
And forgiving to me, my ADHD brain. So thank you guys, and again, thank you all in the comments. Thank you guys that have followed him and followed me.
Yes, thank you.
I'm gonna play your outro as we end. I'm gonna play that last video as we end. So cool. But thank you all. Like, we couldn't be here without you. Like, I wouldn't have a show if I didn't have people watching and I didn't have people commenting and sharing and all of that stuff. I would just be talking to myself and talking to guests. So, which is fun anyway. But thank you all for being here. And remember, my final piece of advice I tell you every week, please make sure you fill your cup first. You can't pour from an empty cup. Now let's watch this little promo video, and then we're going to end. You guys have a wonderful night.
All right, Squatchers and Squatchettes, here we go. Whoa!
Kidding me? Dude, do you know how much it takes to confuse a barred owl?
Right back up in here, someplace off time.
Sucks you in. My camera, and I started training in that area there where it was coming from, and that's when I saw the skunk ape.
I'm scared.
Bear mace kind of went off.
You're gonna eat this bum sitting here, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless you want it.
No, I'm good.